This video is an introduction to iron roads that assumes you've finished the minimal tutorial. It's an introduction to more advanced topics. There is a link in the description to a free demo on Steam containing the tutorial, and there are timestamps in the video indexed by topic. If you serve towns well, they grow, and then they start producing more passengers. Eventually you will need multiple trains to serve a route, and when you do so initially, you might find that they collide with each other, so you'll need to lay out your tracks to avoid collisions. You can see here that I'm constructing a loop of track between Mercyshire on the top left and Neptunia on the right. Now I'm adding 2 platforms for trains to stop at, and finally I want to add the one-way orders so that trains travel clockwise and avoid running into each other. Initially the one-way tool is locked and it needs to be researched. Open the research screen, scroll down and research one-way zones to unlock the tool. Now we can select the tool and draw some one-way orders on the tracks. You don't need to cover the tracks because the route finder is smart enough to understand that if one part of a track is one way, the entire track is. If you've just started iron roads and you haven't already, you'll need to research a train to place on the route. Now we open the town screen, create a route, and add a train to it. You can see the train travelling clockwise around the route. Now, if I duplicate that train, you see they all travel clockwise and don't collide. The previous example was a through station where trains don't need to reverse out. Sometimes you may wish to build a station like this where trains leave in the opposite direction to one they arrive from. This is one place non-stop zones can be useful. If I add some trains and run forward quickly, you'll see that eventually a train leaving the station and one entering it will block each other. You can fix this temporarily by opening the train screen and clicking unstick to remove the train from the board and place it again at a free platform. However, eventually it will lock up again. To solve the problem permanently, you can place a non-stop zone over the entrance and exit area. No train will enter this zone until the zone is free and the train has a route out. If I pause briefly, you can see that the silver train heading in is waiting for the purple train to leave. Now trains will flow freely. Another use of a non-stop zone is to force a train to wait before a decision point. For example, here the train entering from the left has already committed to the central platform, which is occupied when others are free. This slows down your network. To solve this, we put a non-stop zone before the platforms. Now a train will not enter until it can leave, and this means it will wait for a free platform. You can see that now trains wait until the previous train is clear of the zone and there is a free platform before they enter the station. In iron roads, the route finder is automated, and trains will traverse your track network to their destination automatically. Sometimes though, you might want a little more control, and waypoints can be useful for that. For example, here you can see the yellow train heading north on the left track is held up by the slower train ahead of it, making the network less efficient. Ideally, we keep the slower trains on the right-hand track and the fast ones on the left. To do that, we add waypoints to the 2 different routes out the left station. Waypoint 1 for the route to be taken by fast trains, and waypoint 2 for the route to be taken by slow trains. Now, if we edit the route for the slow trains, we can add waypoint 2. And we can add waypoint 1 to the route for fast trains. You can see the slow trains now take the lower route to the right-hand station, leaving the upper track clear for the fast trains, and the network is flowing better. In iron roads, there are a number of resources. The quantities are shown along the top. Track, platforms, cement, power, and train parts. Here, we need cement to build the bridge, but we don't have any. So, how do we create cement? As you can see in the error message, we first need to research the cement system. This flowchart shows you what you need to connect. The icon on the right is the stone quarry, and the left one is the associated rest town. So you need to transport workers from the rest town to the quarry for them to generate cement for you. A rest town is where the workers of the corresponding resource town live, and is denoted by the hard hat and a symbol of what they produce. So here I have connected stone quarry and stone workers rest. We can see the first worker on the train to the quarry, and as you can see they have created the first cement. The resource now shows in the top bar. So now we can finish our bridge. Cement is a fairly straightforward resource chain. A more complex example is power. The flashing icons on these trains indicate they have run out of power and we need to generate some. This time when we open the flowchart, it is more complex. There are now 3 links in the chain. You still need to connect the mole mines and the power station with their respective workers' towns, but this time you must also move the fuel from the mole mines to the power station. You need to keep an eye on all parts of the chain and fix any problems that are holding it up. We can see workers waiting at the power station, but there is no fuel. The trains are running between the power station and the mole mines. However, when we work back to the mole mines, we can see there are no workers. Once we have set up a service between the mole miners rest and the mole mines, they will start to generate fuel, which will eventually be turned into power by the power station. Thanks for watching. I hope this has clarified a few things about iron roads and how to get started. I hope you enjoy the game. If you have any questions or suggestions, please get in touch with us.